Inflation is theft. Inflation is institutionalized theft. In the ancient world, one of the things you weighed when you went to the store was not just your produce, but also your money.
Inflation is legal counterfeiting. If there's not a lot of work required to produce an asset that is money, then there's a huge incentive to just produce as much as you can of that thing and go out and acquire things that require effort.
Fiat money is designed to shortcut sowing and reaping, to give governments and central banks, a small group of very powerful people, the ability to effectively make themselves gods.
Inflation is theft. That's the message here. The Bitcoin bros have been preaching that, and you have an option. You have an option to opt out. Once again, what that option is Bitcoin. Don't forget it. If you haven't bought in, what are you waiting for? That, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin bros coming back at you, another cryptocurrency video. Make sure you go ahead and like this content. Before we get started, we have a jam-packed video today, so make sure you watch this one to the end. Getting straight into it, taking a look at an update from Stock Money Lizards. What he's showing us is that we have these valleys that Bitcoin forms after every peak. The first valley took 630 days before we seen that high again. The next valley took about 1,200 days till we seen that high again. The valley after that took almost 1,100 days before we seen that price again. And right now we had this peak of $69,000. And this was November of 2021. So it's been a little over a year, about almost a year and 3 months, a little over 400 days. So as you see, we have some time before we get back up to that $69,000 peak. There's a good chance that could be after the 2024 halving. Another update from Seth_Finn, Bitcoin's monthly chart with RSI. 4 times have we found the bottom here on the higher time frame. This time won't be different. So look here, what he's showing you down below is every time we touch this downward resistance, that is the bottom. Every single time we hit it. Every single time, bottom. Every single time the bottom's in, and then once we hit that bottom, every single time what do we see? A blast off, blast off, blast off. If history's any indication of what's to come, a blast off should be in the near future for Bitcoin. Another update from Titans of Crypto, Bitcoin's institutional bias update. A few weeks ago, the institutional bias crossed bullish. The last time this happened was back in 2019. Well, look here. Every time we have this bullish cross, the blue line comes above the red. We have a retest, then a blast off. And look at here, this was the pandemic dump, but all in all, we had that bull run start. And look what happened. We had this bullish cross, then that retest. Are we going to see that bounce up to the upside, and how high will we go? Another update from the game of trades. Many investors have been calling for a 12K Bitcoin, but the drawdown from the all-time high has once again been consistent with past bear markets. So right here, as you see this box, the consistent with past cycle down draws, it falls into this box every single time. We fell into it. And people are still calling for lower price action, but there's a good chance the bottom could already be in. Everybody's asking themselves, how is Bitcoin in a bull market? Well, it's the start of the bull market. Every single halving cycle, 2012, when we're under the realized price, we last down there for a little bit of time, we cross above it, that's the official start. Sometimes it lasts a little longer, like here in 2015, it lasted 10 months under this realized price before the bull market actually started, 5 months in 2019 before it started, and 6 months here, and look what happened. We just started that bull run. So what do we see for Bitcoin in the short to midterm? If we zoom into this price action, this is Bitcoin versus the US dollar on the daily. We see that we could be having some type of head and shoulder pattern that could be forming, an inverse head and shoulder pattern at that. And this is definitely a bullish indication. And how do we measure this? Well, we have to measure up to this neckline. And if we do break out of this, it's going to be breaking out to the upside. And we have to pull this up to where the breakout point could be. Technical target for this will take Bitcoin back up over 40,000, around 40.7K. So could this be where Bitcoin's going in the short to midterm? This apex is all the way back in September. So technically we could be trading in this range, and it looks like it's going to be somewhere from 18.8 all the way up to this $25,000 range until September this year, till we get that breakout. And when that breakout happens, this is that technical target around $40,000. Another update, big crypto news. Crypto bank Silvergate to shut down, but it will repay depositors. California lender to unwind after run fueled by the FTX collapse. So there's still some contagion going on, but Bitcoin didn't budge. So we've had the Silvergate closure, a Binance crackdown, Mt. Gox sellers, ETH staking withdrawals, and Bitcoin still holding over 20K. And Will Clemente saying the same thing. After one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world blew up, Bitcoin's still holding. One of the largest crypto hedge funds in the world blew up. Bank run liquidation of the primary crypto banking partner, fastest tightening cycle of monetary policy ever, and more. Why? Because Bitcoin is resilient. And we have an update from Jerome Powell, and he's talking about CBDCs and what the Fed's gonna do with rate hikes in the future. So let's hear from Jerome.
A CBDC, I think you're asking whether a CBDC would serve some of that. But a CBDC is going to be years in the evaluation. And, I think we can get this into the hands of the public very quickly. And I think we'll have real-time payments in this country very, very soon.
And there he's talking about a CBDC being implemented very, very soon. What does this mean? Are they going to be trying to control how you spend your money? Well, one thing's for certain. Time will tell. We hope you opted out of this system into the crypto system. And even though the economy has been stubbornly strong, Fed is still saying they're going to combat inflation. Let's finish hearing from Jerome.
The data from January on employment, consumer spending, manufacturing production, and inflation have partly reversed the softening trends that we'd seen in the data just a month ago. Some of this reversal likely reflects the unseasonably warm weather in January in much of the country. Still, the breadth of the reversal, along with revisions to the previous quarter, suggests that inflationary pressures are running higher than expected at the time of our previous FOMC meeting. From a broader perspective, inflation has moderated somewhat since the middle of last year, but remains well above the FOMC's longer-run objective of 2%. Although inflation has been moderating in recent months, the process of getting inflation back down to 2% has a long way to go and is likely to be bumpy. The latest economic data have come in stronger than expected, which suggests that the ultimate level of interest rates is likely to be higher than previously anticipated. If the totality of the data were to indicate that faster tightening is warranted, we'd be prepared to increase the pace of rate hikes.
And once again, there you have from Jerome Powell. They are prepared to increase the rate of rate hikes. What's this mean for the economy? That means they're going to be taking money out the economy even faster, sending the economy into a major recession / depression. Some people are calling for a shallow recession. Some people are calling for a depression. The Fed saying they're trying for a soft landing, or will it be hard? You be the judge. But all in all, you have an option to opt out. And the Bitcoin bros have been telling you this. There's only one thing that's for certain in this world where you can have your own custody. No governing body can tell you how to operate, can make you pay tax on it, or anything if you just hold on for dear life.